There's a dramatic web series that's garnering lots of buzz on social media and causing celebrities to flock to the show for colored boys. Take a look.
Second chance educational and life skills training. Because success is a journey, not a destination, man. This. How many degrees you have already?
You think they give about that, D? Man, I gotta do what I gotta do, man.
Oh, you think this road to success shit you doing gonna help you get back on your feet? Besides, you're gonna need something better than this if you plan on taking Lisa away from a man.
That's
All
powerful,
right?
right?
Yes.
Joining us with more on For Colored Boys is the creator, writer, and director, Stacey Muhammad, and one of the stars of the show, friend to the show, Adeshola Osakalumi. Welcome to Arise. Welcome back to Arise.
Yes.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
So, Stacey, this show chronicles the lives of several black men as they go through life's challenges. Why did you decide to focus on this? What inspired it? And why black men and not maybe women?
Well, I think when we deal with black men, we're also dealing with black women in many ways. For Colored Boys looks at the way incarceration affects not just the person that's incarcerated, but the family and communities of people that are affected by incarceration as well, which oftentimes are women and children. We started off with For Colored Boys as a documentary web series where we looked at 7 areas that I believe black men are targeted. And of course, when we think about that, we think about mass incarceration and prison industrial complex. So season 1 follows Benjamin Boyd Sr., who comes home after 9 years of incarceration and tries to reunite with his family. He wants to reassume his role as father to a 17-year-old daughter and 21-year-old son and rekindle a relationship with his wife. And the greatest challenge is a 21-year-old son who's had to assume a certain level of responsibility before his time, who's not welcoming at all to his father's presence back into his life.
Wow, that's deep. Adeshola, talk to us about your character as well and what drew you to this project.
I saw it season 1 online, and we have a mutual friend, April Silver, and I reached out to her and I said, you know, this is incredible work, and if there's anything I could do or be involved with, I'd like to do so, and I'll let Stacey know. I had a chance to meet Stacey. We chatted, and she was like, "Oh, so you're interested in the project?" And I was like, "Yeah." and she said, "Okay, great." And it was kind of just like that.
That was it?
Well, I saw his work in Fela.
Yes.
You know, April Silver's, shout out to April Silver and the Killer Work song.
Yeah.
She connected us. So she's been very instrumental in providing support, you know, to the series and connecting me with great actors. And Adeshola was someone that she connected me with. I saw him in Fela. I thought he was amazing, was very familiar with his work. And we casted him in season 2 along with Mr. Charles Dutton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why were you interested in using your art to help promote social change? Because presumably that's one of the goals you're hoping that this series brings along, correct?
Sure. I mean, that's what I do. That's what I've always done. I would think that I'm an activist first and a filmmaker second. You know, so film is just, you know, the avenue by which I tell stories that are very much indicative of the challenges that black and brown people face in this country and around the world. So it's just what I do. You know, I think that social media has definitely given us the opportunity now as artists to connect immediately with an audience, to get feedback from them about what they want to hear and what they want to see, the issues that are affecting them. And For Colored Boys has been extremely instrumental in just, you know, furthering this conversation around incarceration.
Well, we're seeing a lot of that in, you know, pop culture, everything from Middle of Nowhere to Orange is the New Black.
Right.
Why do you think that people are starting to have these in-depth conversations about incarceration?
I feel it's something that for a long time people didn't want to discuss because there was not a really level playing field around that discussion. What attracted me to Stacey's project was, again, not just how she viewed the male perspective of being reintroduced into society, but his effect on his family. You know, you see a lot of images around a black family where everything is really hunky-dory or not so realistic. And what attracted me to this project was the realism and the level of heart and compassion that came through in season 1.
Well, what do you all hope that people will take away from this series, especially in consideration with the prison system?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of times when we think about systemic issues, we don't think about the very real life stories that are a part of that, right? So when we think about mass incarceration, I mean, these are real families that are affected by these issues. In preparation for the series, we visited women's groups and talked with women who had husbands coming home from prison and discussed some of the challenges that they're having. We spoke with people who have parents incarcerated, so just in terms of the challenges of parenting from prison and just giving a voice to the children who have parents in prison. So I think that we, just definitely have an opportunity to really look deeply into these systemic issues and look at the ways in which they're affecting real-life people and just really have a lot more compassion about what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, why did you guys decide to launch this on YouTube opposed to the traditional route of television?
Yeah, well, it's challenging to get on television, one.
Yeah.
Two, I think that web series, ironically, right now are, an interesting way to kind of get into television. Right now, we're shopping the series to networks. We've had quite a bit of network entries for season 1. And again, I think with social media, with YouTube, we have immediate access to our audiences. We wanted to build an audience and a following with the series when we came out for season 1, and then look at where we could go with season 2.
Smart approach.
Thank you.
Smart approach.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who needs the network?
Right.
Well, we do now. We do now. Yeah.
So we've got to talk about Fela really quickly.
Okay.
How did appearing in that show change your life and impact your career?
Oh, in many ways. Again, like I said the last time I was here, to play Fela is a great honor because of all that he did. It exposed me to a lot of people who hadn't seen my work, who knew me more from dance and choreography, not as much for acting. It was just like great on-the-job training. It allowed me to sing, dance, do all the things that I kind of do, all wrapped in one. Allowed me to meet people like Stacey. And I think, again, I've been fortunate to work on projects that have a lot of meaning and that people are affected by them after the show and that it begins a dialogue post-show as opposed to like, wow, great show, now I'm back to life.
Right.
And
he, too, was another artist who believed that his work
social
should
justice.
have
Absolutely.
social impact.
Sure,
Correct.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what's next for both of you besides working on this great project?
Well, I'm getting ready to relocate to Atlanta and working on a few projects there. One will be a feature film which is based upon the For Color Boys series with Charles Dutton in the lead for that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And just working on season 2 and seeing what else comes up along the way.
All right, Ade?
Well, I'll miss Stacey. She's leaving New York.
I'll have you come.
I'll be there. I just did a musical theater workshop of a show called In Your Arms, directed by and choreographed by a gentleman named Christopher Gattelli, who was a Tony Award winner for a show called Newsies.
Yeah.
A really great project, looking forward to it, possibly moving to Broadway. That's one thing. I just recently wrote my first screenplay that I submitted to a Sundance competition.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that goes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All right, before you go, tell us where we can see past and future episodes of For Color Boys.
Sure, you can watch the entire series at forcoloredboysseries.com. We have 8 episodes on YouTube, and you can go to my website at staceymuhammad.com as well.
All right, thank you both so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.